Assalamu alaikum everybody, and welcome back to another video. As you can see, I have been slacking off lately. I've been meaning to stick to a Monday schedule for these uploads, but as you can see, today's Friday and you guys haven't gotten anything this whole week. So yeah, I've been a bit under the weather, and I was knocked out for a solid week, but I'm back up, I'm better, doing great. And that's actually a segue into today's video, which is about health. Now, something I've learned as I've gotten older is that I tend to take it for granted. My physical health, oral health as well. And you don't really know or understand the value of that blessing that you have, which is being perfectly healthy, until that's taken away from you, until you're sick, until you got a toothache. And then it puts a lot of things into perspective, right? So the first thing I would suggest is definitely, and I cannot stress this enough, take it seriously. Everybody's strong until some small virus knocks them out. Everybody's strong and they like to eat and do whatever they want until they have a toothache on one side of their mouth, and every time they chew something, it hurts. Which is what I have right now, by the way, but that's another story. But take it seriously, be up to date. If you need to get a checkup, go get a checkup. I've never gotten one done before. I've been looking for some places to do it, so we'll see what happens with that. But one of the biggest indicators of health, besides, what you're consuming, which is what you need to watch out for, is gonna be your body weight. If you're clearly consuming a lot of bad things for you, then your body weight is either gonna increase or decrease if you're not eating enough and you're only eating junk food. So that's something to keep in mind. Definitely keep it maintained, find a benchmark, find out what weight you want to stay at, and if you're over it, lose the weight. If you're below it, gain the weight. But do so in a healthy manner. One of the biggest mistakes I made a couple years ago was when I decided to gain weight because I was tired of being around the 150 range, is I did it in the most unhealthy way possible. I piled up all the junk food, and the issue with that is when you're not really doing it the right way, the healthy way, is it gets out of your hands and you end up gaining way more weight than you would have wanted. Like for me, I gained about a solid 70 pounds of fat. And it took ages to gain that because it became a habit, it became a lifestyle that I formed and eventually gained it, but then it also took ages to lose, which is not what you want. And another thing I would say is losing weight and maintaining your health. It's not a destination. There isn't like one set day where you can say, okay, I've done it, I'm healthy, that's it. Your health and its maintenance is more of a journey than it is a destination. A lot of people, for example, throughout their journey, if they're trying to get healthy, one of the major things, or not one of the initial things they do is they lose weight or they cancel out all the bad food. That's temporary. And they always follow up with weighing themselves. They're trying to see how much they weigh at the end of the week, at the end of every day, at the beginning of every day, month, whatever. If you make your journey less about the number on the scale and more about just maintaining and developing and maintaining a healthy lifestyle, it'll work out long term. A couple months later, you're getting healthier. You'll feel it and you'll see it when you look at yourself in the mirror. But once you weigh yourself, you're going to be happy with the results. And move. One of the biggest things that has helped me personally in maintaining my health and weight and just overall getting rid of bad food is just moving around, walking to places instead of biking. Because for biking, it's just a couple minutes, I'm at a place, whereas with walking, it could take 10 to 15 minutes. And it makes me more active, gives me more time to think, plan out these videos and whatnot, and so on and so forth. And the final thing that I want to touch on is control is the projection of an illusion. Something, it's the projection of an illusion. So people oftentimes feel like they're controlled by their sweet tooth. They're controlled by their love for food, whatever it might be, whatever unhealthy habit they've developed for themselves. They feel like they're controlled by it, when in reality, it's just an illusion. Make the decision and stick to it. And, sometimes you have sometimes you have to lie to yourself throughout this process. Like it's sort of like a bait and switch, right? Where, you set a benchmark, you set a threshold, and, after a certain amount of time, you're like, oh, well, this is when I'll eat junk food. But then you push it by a week, push it by another 2 weeks, and so on. One thing I used to do is I used to buy bags of, one bag, not bags, a bag of the Hershey's Kisses. And I remember I'd leave it on the table and I'd tell myself, after I finish this assignment or after the semester finishes or after I get my grade back for this test, then that's when I'll eat one. And then that would happen, but I wouldn't want it. And then a couple days would go by, a few weeks would go by, I'd get the bag and I'd almost open it, but then I'll put it down. And then I'll open it, but I won't take anything out. So it's essentially this game, I don't want to say, depending on how you want to look at it. It's sort of like this game that you play with yourself where you realize that you can constantly delay it. It's like delayed gratification where you know that eventually you're going to eat it, but you're just pushing it off. And yeah, that's what I would say is very crucial to do. Whatever works for you works for you. You guys know yourselves more than I would know you guys. But one last thing to touch on that I must have skipped over is with regards to oral health. Definitely always brush your teeth, always clean your teeth, floss, and hopefully you'll avoid toothaches like me, and avoid sunflower seeds, watermelon seeds, like any hard candy that'll basically destroy your teeth, because I think that's what caused the problem for me. And yeah, besides that, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you have an amazing day.